There is no government in the world that would survive the kind of exploitation so many African countries are facing, including Nigeria.
Do you know the implication? That annually, $9 billion worth of gold is illegally taken out of Nigeria. With according to the former minister, Dr. Oga, through private jets. Private jet. Oh yes.
$9 billion.
Yes, $9 billion. Gold alone.
They've been able to put a value to it.
Oh yes, you can Google. I'm not talking of lithium. I'm not talking of other resources. I just handle a case in Osun State. You know, under our Minerals Act, if you are mining gold or any mineral, solid mineral in my farm, in my land.
Anytime I see African countries traveling to Europe, to Asia, to America, seeking for help, seeking for loan, how much loan? Loan worth of $5 billion, $2 billion, sometimes less than $1 million. Every time we ask for loan. But when you consider our internal issues, if we will be able to fix our internal issues, the exploitation, the bribery, the corruption within us, I don't think we'll have any, reason to go out to ask Saudi Arabia for loan, ask Japan for loan, asking the European Union for loan, because we Africans have what it takes to even lend those people money. We have what it takes, the resources, human resources and natural resources, to borrow loans to even European Union if they want. But we have not been able to settle ourselves. We are the problem of ourselves. I know so many times people talk about France, how France will come to Africa to exploit. But Nigeria, in Nigeria's case, France is not the one exploiting these natural resources. It is Nigerians. Now, that will take me into the contribution of the government to making sure that our natural resources is being exploited. The former president of Nigeria, one time military president, General Sani Abacha, he said that if there is any insecurity that lasted more than 24 hours, that is to say that there is a government on that tune on it. And I am going to use that to relate to the exploitation of natural resources from our country. There is no one that could invade our airspace with a private jet or with any kind of jet, invade your airspace, enter your territory, exploit your mineral resources and take it away. Nobody. So in other words, the government has hand in it. So it is government that are exploiting the people. It is government that will come out to say that there is no job, there is no money. It's the same government that will go out to borrow loans from outside the country, from abroad. It is the same government that are still going to use the loan to themselves, not to the masses. So there is a problem. There is a problem. If 9 billion worth of gold is taken annually from Nigeria, that is the statistics they were able to calculate. What of the ones that they were unable to calculate? What about lithium and so many other mineral resources that they have been mining? Now let us talk about the crude oil. Before a ship can enter into your territory and carry crude oil and go back to where it came from, it must be an arrangement of Navy. It must be an arrangement of government officials. There is nobody can bring ship into your territory and take oil and go. The government are involved in this. So when we are talking about the bad governance in Africa and in Nigeria, many people think that it is the hatred we have for the ruling government that we don't want to support the ruling government. But we cannot bear in lie and continue to live in pretense that everything is fine. According to Nigerian former musician, he said that is suffering and smiling. You cannot be suffering internally and you'll be smiling for people to say that all is well. All is not well. The earlier Nigerians begin to speak the truth to power, the better for us. Because at the end, we are the ones, the ordinary masses, the citizens are the ones that will suffer this. At the end, when we are unable to account for all these natural resources that is being exploited, it will make our GDP to be very low. And when our GDP is low, it's going to affect our currency. Most of these politicians spend dollar, they don't even spend naira. Most of these politicians, even though the cost of fuel, the cost of petroleum product is high, they don't buy Their cars are official cars. They will still use our money to buy fuel for the official cars. So everything boils down to the poor masses. We are still suffering the effect of these corrupt practices. So when we are talking, people should not think that we hate the country or we don't want, because anytime you bury the truth, that truth will resurrect, and the detriment of the lie you buried is going to be against you. This is so unfortunate that such thing is going on in Nigeria, and it is not appearing on our newspapers. People are not talking about it. We have never seen anyone persecuted for stealing natural resources in Nigeria. Neither oil, nor gold, nor lithium, nor boron, nor beryllium. We have so many mineral resources in Nigeria, and nobody is talking about all these things. Well, it is a pity, and I think the time has come for people to arise against any government officials that are not doing what they're supposed to do.
Don't ever believe that a politician is a leader. Don't ever believe that. Because the system that we have produces politicians. It doesn't produce leaders. And so you can have a politician who knows nothing about leadership, and he's leading you. Politicians are concerned about the next election. That's all they're interested in. That's why they cannot be leaders. But leaders are different. Leaders are concerned about the next generation. I want you to compare those two thoughts the next time you have a politician come to your house wanting to vie for your vote. Just ask him, what is your vision for my children? I will sit and listen for 20 minutes for you to tell me what it is. He will leave your house because he has no interest in your children's children. His concern is to stay in power, to keep the position, to win the next election. This is why they cannot lead. When you are going to have a conversation with a politician, you should actually try this as a test. You, by the way, as a citizen of a community, you have a right to be seen by the mayor. Hope you know that. If you voted for a mayor, the mayor works for you. Therefore, you have a right to see him. You can make an appointment to see any public officer you voted for. Did you know that? That's your legal right. If he don't want to see you, you can take him to court. That's democracy. So I want you to make an appointment to go and see your mayor or go and see your governor and just sit and say, I want 30 minutes with you, sir. And ask him about that list right there. Sir, what is your purpose for being in leadership in this city? What is your purpose? The first question will make him very nervous. Second question, what is your passion for our community? He'll be wondering what you're talking about. What are you talking about? I just want to build roads and bridges and provide jobs. No. What is your passion? And this is why we need to question the leaders we have. And so I have a little thought here. I call it politics versus leadership. Let's talk about it for a second. Number one, politicians focus on programs, not vision. Number two, politicians' priority is securing the next election, not securing the next generation. Their focus is different. Number three, politicians are preoccupied with promises, not purpose. What we need is statesmen, stateswomen. We don't need more politicians. A statesman is an interesting human. A statesman thinks of the next generation.